What's going on, nation? Today I'm going to take you through the most intense biceps and abdominal workout that you've ever had. We're going to be doing 4 exercises for your biceps, starting off with a super heavy 5x5. Then we're going to move into 2 abdominal exercises where you're going to be doing 4 sets each. Now the reps are going to vary, so let's take a quick look at what the routine has to offer and get started. We're going to get this workout started off with a bang. We're going to be doing our wide grip barbell curls, and with wide grip, all that means is that you're just grabbing the bar outside of shoulder length. Now the purpose of this routine is to destroy your body. I want your biceps to be hurting for days after you finish this, but I also want you making strength gains along with your muscle gains. And so what we're doing is we're going to start off with the 5 sets of 5 reps of the wide grip barbell curl, and I recommend, if you can, that you get a spotter. This is my friend Dave, and what he's doing is he's helping me with forced repetitions. Now forced repetitions do a lot of things, and the main thing they do for me personally is they get my mind to break through that mental barrier of how strong I actually am. Because if you notice, he's not really doing that much work. He's just kind of fingertipping the bar. Well, right there he grabbed it, but you know what I'm saying. He's fingertipping the bar to make sure I get to the top on each repetition, and then what I'm doing is controlling the negative. And what this is going to do is get my muscles used to working this hard, so the next time I come in the gym, I'm going to be able to lift that weight a little easier. And every time you go to the gym and you focus on forced repetitions, you're going to get a little stronger and a little stronger because you're putting your muscles under the kind of tension that they're not used to. And that's what you guys are going to be seeing from me from now on in all my videos in the gym. Even when I'm doing circuits, I'm just going to be pushing it as hard as possible because I want you guys to be pushing it as hard as possible, if not harder than that, which is pretty hard. It's like Super Saiyan quality. So we're finishing up, we're on our 3rd set right now, and for some reason the camera started to haze on the left hand side. I thought this was funny. It looked like I actually knew it was there. That's why I paused it real quick. I thought it was pretty hilarious. But anyways, back to the workout. I want you guys to take notice that even during the forced reps that my spotter's helping me, I'm not swinging the bar, I'm not swinging my back, I'm using full range of motion on every single repetition. And all I'm doing is I'm lifting the weight as high as I can on my own, and then my buddy Dave spots me to the top. And it's his job to make sure I get all 5 reps, and if I say I can't do it, he makes me do it. Now just on a side note, you guys might notice flexing my glutes here. If you flex your glutes and core when you do heavy curls, it will help you stabilize. Just a quick note for you. So squeeze your butt when you curl, it helps. The second exercise we're going to do is preacher curls. Now with preacher curls, you need to make sure you're not doing one major thing. And that major thing is letting your shoulders rock forward and basically looking like there's an indent where your neck should be. You want to keep your chest up, and you want to make sure your shoulders are sitting in a neutral position. Now also, when you do preacher curls, you need to make sure you're fully extending on the exercise. If you need to see a video on why full extensions are important, I'll put a link to that video right over here in the top left corner. So the full extension on the preacher curl, it gets tough, and I'm not necessarily doing a slow tempo right now. I'm just making sure I'm really controlling the negative, and I'm flexing my muscles actually on the way down. I'm keeping my biceps tense on the way down. And I don't have to worry about them staying tense on the way up, obviously, because they're getting fatigued. So once again, you know, you're doing over here 3 sets of 8 reps, and I have Dave helping me out with those forced repetitions. And as you can see, he's not applying that much force. It's just enough to get the weight up to make sure I get to 8. The next exercise is a standing double bicep cable curl. And this is actually a pretty awesome exercise. And there's some things you want to keep in mind when you're doing this exercise. You want to make sure you're standing straight up. You want to make sure the cables are a little higher than your head so that when you curl them in, you actually can get your arms to stay straight high in the air. If the cables are too low, it might screw up your form. But you want to make sure you're keeping your chest up and you're pushing your elbows kind of like forward and up at the same time. You want to try to keep everything as straight as possible. And as you guys can see right now where I'm fatiguing, my elbows are actually kind of caving in, and that's not good. You don't want them to do that. So try to avoid that as much as possible. And as you can see, Dave saw that, so he stepped in to make sure. Your elbows always want to turn in when you fatigue on these. You just gotta watch it. The last exercise you're gonna do for biceps is hammer curls. And you can choose to do them both arms at the same time. Personally, I like doing them one arm at a time. I feel like I get that nice, like, tight focus on each arm, and I can go all the way up, all the way down, keep my arm squeezed. Because when I start to fatigue on hammer curls, I mean, I feel like I start to use a little bit of momentum, and I don't like that. I want to focus on just hitting each arm as hard as possible. Now, I didn't tell you guys this because I didn't feel like it, but on Thanksgiving, I actually, like, destroyed my left shoulder. I was playing football with my friends, and I got hit so hard, it felt like my shoulder went inside my body and popped back out. My AC joint was bruised so bad, I couldn't even lift my arm for like 10 days. It was horrible, but I pushed through it because, you know, I had work to do. But as you guys can see, with this exercise, my post delt still has weakness, so my left arm, I'm having a hard time lifting the weight. That's why I have Dave coming in here and spotting me. But the only way I get better and work through an injury is by working through it. I feel like that post delt, it's not going to stop being weak until I push it to continue to be strong. So what I decided to do on my last exercise was actually use my 3-inch iron bull strength grips and throw them on some 20-pound dumbbells and just do one more set of the hammer curls. And on here I'm doing both arms at the same time. The good thing about using something like an iron bull grip is what it's doing is making the bar fatter. So now the bar is almost like 3.5 inches. And what it's making you do is you have to grip so much harder. You're actually utilizing and recruiting more muscle fibers throughout your arms, your forearms, your biceps, and even up through like your shoulders and chest. You'll start to feel muscles tighten that you usually don't feel tightened during an exercise like this. And for me, what it's helping me do is really focus on fixing that weakness in my left shoulder. So I mean, you don't have to do this if you don't have the grips, but if you do, it definitely helps. And as you can see, my left wrist is actually starting to cave in towards the top of the movement, and that's just the weakness I'm trying to push through. Alright, now it's on to abs. Now, if you've never done this before, you're going to probably start doing it. So make sure you show a big like in the bottom of this video over here in the corner if you've never thought of pinning a plate to the stack. Now, this is an ab pull down, and for this exercise, you might want to have someone stand on your feet. I have Dave standing on my feet. It's a pretty easy job. As you can see, he's like on his Instagram or something right now, typing on his phone. But it's just enough weight to hold you to the ground, because obviously if you don't have someone stand on your feet, the exercise is more intense. But my goal right now is to focus on my abs, and I want to make sure I'm able to do that without having to worry about flying into the machine because it weighs more than I do. Another quick tip on here, if you look how I'm grabbing this bar, I'm keeping my hands as close as possible, and I'm actually pulling it into my neck. And that actually allows me to be a lot more stable when performing the exercise, and your arms don't fatigue out as quick. Your forearms are going to burn, but you'll be able to hold on to that bar a lot longer. Now the last exercise you're going to do is wood choppers, and this is my all-time favorite exercise when it comes to obliques. Now you want to make sure that when you do this exercise that the cable is pretty low. You want it to be basically a straight line as you're performing the exercise. And what you want to do is use your back foot to post and then kind of step lightly on your front toes there. Keep your back arm as straight as possible and try to keep your front arm as straight as you can too. There might be some bending in the elbows, but just try to keep them as straight as possible throughout the entire exercise. And this kills me because I'm doing the whole stack here, and what it does, it just like, it cuts right through me and takes all the air out of my system. It usually takes me a minute or two to kind of recover, but you know, I wanted to make it hardcore and blast through this for you guys. So I got a little lightheaded, but I decided to keep going. So as you guys can see, you know, the cable is pretty much straight on every repetition. And if it's not, you know, just adjust it and lower it. But the goal here is to keep your hips forward as you go forward and back with the cable, because as your hips are facing forward and you bring the cable back, that's when you really feel it cut through your core, and that's where the obliques are getting the most work. So it's really important that you do that.
Now that's an intense biceps and abs workout. Guys, if you want to check out some more tips on how to do the routine, you can join me in the forum post over here. If you haven't checked out all the new recipes yet, healthy, high-protein stuff, be sure to click the link above over here to the recipes page at scotthermanfitness.com. Hope you guys enjoyed the workout. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.
If you're looking for a quick way to switch things up, log into your SHF profile and go to the workout section of the website. Once there, click on the muscles you want to train, then you'll be brought to a page where you can further filter down your search. Now you have a complete list of all the routines that target your chest and utilize only a barbell or dumbbell. From here you can rate the routine, add it to your routines in your profile, and if you scroll down, you can see a write-up of the entire routine as well as photos of all the exercises. You can also download a printable PDF just by clicking on it.